we're live, baby. It is week 17, and this used to be the last week of the regular season for the NFL. No longer, but it sure is for us. It is time for the last heat check. Not of the season. Well, as it is active. We'll be back again next week to deliver flowers and a belt to one lucky owner. But that's then, and this is now. I have with me Mark. Mark is not with us this week, but I think I've got a suitable replacement. On my left, I have my worthy and successful adversary, Justin Bucha. Justin, how are you doing?
Doing good after my own little heat check over the weekend with 102 fever watching these games.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to ask how
shit.
your Christmas was, and it sounds like it was unique.
Yeah, my only Christmas gift of Christmas was beating you. I had to wait till Monday to do anything.
And returning again, alone this time, and triumphant over his semifinals matchup against the Mystery Men. It is Il-1 Fitz, Nick Baranowski. Nick, how are you doing?
Well, I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me, first of all.
Of course.
Also, getting over my own heat check. Something going around here in the water or something. Everybody's
winning.
Yeah, right.
Everybody's winning.
Whatever I didn't get, whatever you guys got.
But everybody's gonna be all right for New Year's. We're gonna ring it in great. I'm
awesome.
confident.
How was your Christmas?
Christmas was great, low key. Just say hi to the family, eat some food, exchange some gifts.
Excellent.
Do some naps.
I know you're a very talented cook. Did you prepare anything for your gatherings?
Not this year. For New Year's, I'll be preparing pork loin, done two different ways. One with kraut, obviously, for our New Year's Day traditional dish, and then the prior evening, I'll probably do caramelized apples with some onions and maybe a blueberry compote with a pork loin.
That sounds delicious. I think I'm probably going to be eating cereal. Let's talk a little bit about the week that was. I'll start right in there with a little stat that I heard today. Stephon Diggs through week 10 was 6th league-wide in targets. And since week 10, he is 20th. And that went some ways in kind of exploring my implosion.
4.6. I'm just looking at that now.
Look at that. Between him and Devontae Adams, they did not scrape together 10 points.
Yeah.
Any given Sunday.
What are you going to do?
That's true.
That was probably what did me in. I was, if you recall last week, I had the galaxy-brained idea of, I'm going to sit Travis Etienne for J.K. Dobbins, and I also went with sitting Trevor Lawrence for Justin Herbert. Now, I went and I looked, and I was like, if I hadn't done both of those things, it would not have made a difference, but I would have only lost by like 1 point.
Could have made it at least interesting.
It would have been interesting, yeah. I actually thought it pretty much was interesting to me until on the Monday night game where it was like, all right, so Herbert has to outscore Zach Moss by 19.
Yeah. I
was like, it's a tall order, but it's not the craziest thing in the world. And then he threw an interception on the second play, and I was like, all right, never mind. Who are your big surprises? I know Waddle came up big again.
Waddle came up big, 143 yards. Actually, Dak did really good. He had 347 yards and 3 touchdowns. Drake London showed up. I think that was his highest fantasy score, or second highest probably.
Right.
In all the season. Still had a lot of points on my bench there, but somehow I still pulled it off. So
yeah. Anybody outscore your starters?
Yeah, of course. Dotson, Knox, Chuba Hubbard. I'm trying to pick up any running back with Jonathan Taylor out.
I say it all the time. I say it frequently that you have this problem where you just never know which of your many guys is going to be the guy this week.
Exactly.
But the results show that it seems to have been a good problem to have. Nick, so you had a slightly less interesting game.
That week, or?
Last week against Brian Howes and the Mystery Men.
Yes.
it was damn near a doubling up.
Damn near. I was just going over those numbers myself. Yeah.
What turned out like? What was the story kind of this matchup?
The matchup. Well, I did feel somewhat confident heading into it, to be honest with you. But I was, as always, looking at the projections and everything. It's a little scary. I think Cowles has a solid team, and I just best I could do was make the right moves at this point. There was nobody in the waiver wire or anything else that's going to matter at this point. It's just picking the right guys.
Well,
now.
you picked up a couple of some really helpful additions, like in the last 4 or 5 weeks, right? Like you got like Mike Williams.
Yeah,
he's been a good guy for you.
Yeah, Mike Williams. Yeah, he was recently dropped. I picked him up. Somebody had messaged in the group, and I'm glad Kittle pulled through. I mean, obviously, we're looking at a 30-point tight end on that day.
Yeah, he was very up and down, but he seems to be very up and up.
Yep, those two touchdowns.
He's been very purdy.
Was nice.
Get the fuck out of here.
Devin Singletary pulled through for me, notably too. He's been consistently pulling in maybe like 12 points a game.
That's another guy I would talk shit on for being inconsistent.
Right. He's inconsistent, but I had him in the flex, and he pulled through like we're talking about any given
second
Sunday.
Highest score by
second highest.
Yep,
6
by
points.
With
Between
Dallas.
Singletary and Knox, me and him,
the
Bills just give us high blood pressure.
I said to like when the Steelers played the Bills many weeks ago, and it turned out to be the murdering that everyone, even me, expected. But as I was watching the game, I just yelled at the TV. I said, "If you're going to kick me in the balls, at least wear the right shoes." By which I meant throw it to fucking Diggs.
Yes,
and they did.
Exactly.
He got like 30 points or something. So I yelled the same thing, and they were not wearing the right shoes. They were wearing like clown shoe cleats when they kicked me.
What they
in the
were
balls.
wearing that game.
But you guys happened to put the clown shoe cleats in at your flex position, so kudos to you.
Real quick too, Leonard Fournette, I'd like to bring up too, real quick. Kind of just stepped up to really help me win that game. I'm looking at the numbers now: 9 receptions, 90 yards. For a running back, he's not big yardage, but chipping away. Getting them the ball, making moves, putting points up. So that helped a lot too.
Yeah, I guess Rachaad White and the resultant reports of Leonard Fournette's death were greatly exaggerated. It's probably worth mentioning. This podcast is ostensibly distributed amongst members of the Funhouse 2 League. Although we have, I think, 5 members in common with Funhouse 1 that is run by Dion. And Nick here happens to also be in the finals over in Funhouse 1 against Matt Wells, who we very nearly had on today, and he couldn't make it to last minute.
Yeah, I see that one.
You want to see? Oh, you want to see the?
Yes, sir. I'd like to see the matchup of that game since I'm not one of the common folks.
Oh, this Funhouse
fun
1
intended.
crossover brought to you by Derek Berger and the Funhouse.
Oh, whoa, what's
Derek.
this?
How you doing, Derek?
Wonderful. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, how's are you in the finals of the toilet bowl?
Yes, I am.
Yes! the cousins,
Oh, yeah.
Thielen connection continues paying dividends.
Little hockey
Who-
stuff in there too.
You favored in the final?
Like,
I am.
look at this. Look at this.
Excellent. All right, well, good luck. We'll check in next week, see how it went. Thank you, Derek.
I'm looking at the Funhouse 1 here.
Popped
Yeah.
in Kirk Cousins.
And,
look at he's got
Yep.
Bridgewater. Let's
He
focus
put in
on that a little
Bridgewater,
bit.
and he has Tariq Hill there. I'm not sure how they're going to mesh together.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
I'll tell you what, it's going to come down. I think it's going to come down to pretty much between Mark Andrews and Brandon Cooks for you getting a lot of points
Yeah, I'm even debating running both running backs.
compared to
I might put Jamal
Bridgewater. Compared to Bridgewater and Tyreek Hill, that might be.
Right.
And there's Hawkinson over there on
Oh
Matt's
yeah.
side. Is
How
kind
could
of
we
the
forget last week's
equalizer.
performance by Hawkinson?
Yeah.
Brought to
He's
you
been
by Miller
scoring.
Lite. No.
Westy was very animated about Hawkinson's performance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
So I went on the waiver wire, and I noticed that he was lacking a QB this week, and I was like, well, if I'm also going to beat him, I got to beat him off field too.
So you
sharked
somebody.
I sharked the highest quarterback, which was a Jet, and the highest receiver, which was also a Jet. Debated dropping Hurts, but I really think I want to keep him for next year, so I couldn't do it because I knew somebody else, injured or not, was going to scoop him up. And
Yeah.
I didn't want him out there in the field,
I
so I did what I
be
could.
on the same boat as him for next year. I might.
Because you had a.
Dak's not as good as Hurts, but I might. I'm thinking about keeping Dak so I can focus on the rest of my team. I totally understand that.
Yeah. That's like why I'm thinking about like. I'm inching towards like a Freiermuth over Pickens.
Right.
Because it's like, the tight end is a hard spot to fill. And you can find somebody who's actually reliable there. A lot easier to not have to worry about, which round is the fucking run on tight ends going to happen?
Yeah,
Right.
Especially if you end up at like the 1 or the 12,
Right.
or you're at the end and you got to wait 20 picks and
I
you
don't-
miss the run altogether. Now let's bring it back over to Funhouse 2.
Okay.
And let's take a look at. I know that your game is pretty closely projected. I believe it was
Very close.
108 to 105.
Too
which
close
is
for
which
comfort.
is more or less a dead heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Yeah.
But hey, that makes for
Bucha has
great.
been a freaking underdog story for the entire playoffs.
Oh man.
So now here he is on an even playing field. What do
I
you
know. I'm not sure I like that. I made some changes to my roster, but
the ever questionable flex spot for you? You have like 9 guys to pick from every week.
I put in Dotson in the flex.
Jahan Dotson.
He's actually been targeted. Well, maybe not targeted a lot, but pulled in like all his targets. 20 and 19 points the last 2 games.
Yep.
So
Can't-
I had
can't
to go.
say no to that.
I had to. I don't care who they're playing.
Right.
I had to go for that. He seemed to step it up.
And Washington is fighting for a playoff spot.
That's very true.
So
And I did switch up. I took out my Colts running back, and I got that Tyler Algier for Atlanta because he's.
yeah.
I did read that they're saving Cordell, like they're out of the playoffs, so
Yeah.
they kind of want to save him a little bit, because he's old.
Yeah. And
But
maybe
they still want to have a showing, so they're going to put out the rookies out there like Algier and London and see what they got.
Here's
so.
the other interesting stat I saw today. Of the Week 17 games, there are 16 games, and all but one of the Week 17 games have a direct playoff implication. The one that doesn't, Atlanta. Atlanta against Arizona. Nick, what do you see on your side?
Right, well, I like where Bucha's headed at. I mean, as my opponent this week, I still got to agree. He's making the right moves, thinking about it the right way, and rookies can be scary. That's they got something to prove, not just to win, but that they're worth their salt. So
Yep.
on my side, Patrick Mahomes goes without even having to talk about that. That's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette, I've been riding with for past couple seasons now because I had faith in him. He had a rocky season a couple seasons ago. Wasn't great for fantasy numbers, but he really pulled through for me this year, and there's no question to start him against Carolina. Ramondre Stevenson, he's been up and down for me, but still, again, solid. He's put in a lot of.
He's got a pretty high floor.
He's put up some high numbers for me, and again, they're playing Miami. We're coming up on a division game. We all know the Patriots love to win. We all know Miami has something to prove. Deontay Johnson, he's just been consistent.
Dude.
That's the word I'd like to use for just consistent. I have not touched Deontay Johnson's spot in my fucking fantasy all week or all year because there's no reason to.
Yeah.
That's what wins games.
I just recently acquired Mike Williams, going down my receiver list
Thanks,
here.
Clayton, cover
Yeah.
your
Thanks for that, Clayton.
And I understand there was a little rockiness with a little injury, but I mean he's too good to still be floating around in general population. So
Just like you said, even with Keenan Allen, he's
Yeah.
consistent.
right, he's
all that
consistent. So I
matters.
scooped him up, popped him in. I was like, all right, let's see what he does after injury, and he has not failed. George Kittle, has anybody seen the numbers posted last game? And he's not ultra consistent. Let's just say that. I mean, he is kind of, but when he has a bad day, he has a bad day.
Yeah.
Well, ever since
So-
a certain quarterback decided to come in, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
And isn't it also have to do with Debo? When Debo got hurt, didn't that kind of like start to show a turnaround there?
Sure, we got
I think he's still hurt.
Actually, I believe he's questionable now.
Is he? Okay. But
last 2 games I'm looking at 30 points, 25 points. Kittle,
Alright.
tight end.
so they're at Las Vegas.
Yeah, at Las Vegas.
All right.
I'm feeling really confident in Kittle putting some numbers up for me. I feel like I made all the right moves, and
Yeah.
I feel like we're just gonna have to kick it off here and let let's see what happens, baby. And I think it's gonna be a good one. We're head to head right now, and
Yep.
that's what finals are all about, right?
That's
Let's make
right,
it exciting.
That's right. So yeah, we got, of course, the belts on the line. Now the other thing, we wanted to, Mark and I wanted to discuss with Dion. We just didn't get the opportunity, what with the holidays and everything, about settling some kind of award for the Super Bowl between Funhouse 1 and Funhouse 2. The way we want to do it is take the whoever wins, we take the winning teams from both. And Nick, of course, there's a possibility that you will win both of these.
Oh Jesus,
Yes.
that's a lot of pressure.
And unify the titles.
unify.
Without having spoken to Mark or Dion, what I am proposing to do is put up some amount of money towards a tab for the Super Bowl or Funhouse Cup. I think is our working title, the Funhouse Cup champion. To have a tab of I don't know. We'll see if we can get Dion to match it. Maybe get a tidy little sum of like, I don't know, $60, $80, something like that, so that they can properly toast their supremacy over Funhouse fantasy. Well, boys, thanks for coming and shooting the shit. Here we are. This is the most important game of the season. So I wish you both luck. I'd pick a winner if I had a strong enough feeling, but I really don't. I think it's going to be.
And
don't
no
either.
offense taken. I mean, hey, it's going to be a battle. Cheers, Bucha. Let's cheers.
right.
May the best team win, I think.
All glass.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck. Good luck to both of you. Good luck, Nick, over in Funhouse 1.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll see where it all shakes out. Stick with us. We'll be back for the exciting